Yo, this is Marvin, Dejon, and this is the Backyard Vlog. I am coming back to you today to discuss writing stuff, filmmaking stuff, and life stuff. But today we're only going to discuss mainly life stuff because I made a change to that portion of the vlog. But I'm going to spiral off and touch filmmaking and writing stuff as well. You ready? Let's get it. So, if you've watched these vlogs in the past, they go writing stuff, filmmaking stuff, life stuff, which is called the food for thought section. I want to rename that section now to honest talk. Why is that? Because I really just want to talk honest with y'all about what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, and what's happening with Marvin Dejon, the brand. So in today's honest talk, which that's all we're going to cover in today's vlog, two different versions of honest talk, is it's okay to stop and start over. So, I'm a writer, right? And every writer knows that that's part of the course, especially if you do outlines. So this past week, I finally got a break on my project after next. So next project's No Plus One. Then there is another project that I want to do immediately afterwards and basically do two films back to back in 2024. The second film, though, is a murder mystery. It's a genre I haven't done, even though I'm very familiar with it. I love the show Murder, She Wrote. Grew up watching it. I watch it on streaming. It's kind of a comfort show. So I was very inspired to create what I feel is an investigator character. Not necessarily a cop, because I don't want to create a cop. I wanted this guy to be an investigator, but I didn't want him to be a mystery writer like Jessica Fletcher. And he's also a guy. But I'm also inspired by the show Scandal for this. I love Scandal. Like, Scandal is my favorite Shonda show. And so I'm inspired by that, but I'm also inspired in a third way by a film called The Spook Who Sat by the Door and the lead character, Dan Freeman. And so all three of these influences are kind of at play with Orion. And I've been working on him for most of 2023, right? So in me working on him, I'm finding plots. I found about 5 of them. None of them work for my budget. That's the thing about murder mysteries, is that murder mysteries will get expensive quick. And so trying to do that on a micro budget, you're like, well, I'm racking my brain here. What's going on? But I'm still working on it. And so I was really down on myself the other day because I'm like, fuck, why is this not coming to me? And I just had to realize that this is what I signed up for as a writer. I signed up to do this thing over and over again until I got the script right. The script is going to be right because ultimately when you're working on low, no, micro, all sorts of lower budgets, when you don't have, $150 million to throw in a movie, you gotta kind of get creative. So ultimately when it comes down to this, I love the genre. I love the character. I definitely want to arc this character over several films, not just this one. And so he's kind of going to be my franchise guy. So I want to take my time with it. But I was really hard on myself for not getting it because I felt like I was there. Have you ever felt that feeling where it's like, this is the one, this is it. I got 15 pages in on dialogue and I was like, this shit don't make no sense. And I deleted all of it. So that honest talk is, it's okay to stop, survey, and just start over again. Because yes, you can't get perfection. Perfection? What am I saying? You can't get perfection. See that? I can't get perfection. But what you can do is you can be great. And sometimes you do have to stop and start over again to be great. Done is better than perfect, but sometimes you want to do it right. And that sometimes calls for you to stop and start again. So the second part is technically 2 parts, but they go together, so I'm gonna make it one big section. And it's this. It's okay to not be included in some things, but it's also okay to create your own version of something you haven't been included in. So I'm going to be doing auditions soon. They're going to be general submission auditions where you send in your headshot resume, your demo reel, or a self-tape monologue. And what is a self-tape monologue? For those of you that don't know, you literally find a monologue, you memorize it, and you tape yourself doing it. Acting it out, though, not just reading it. Because if you have the paper in your hand while you're doing a monologue that you chose, I will literally delete everything you sent me. That said, I'm doing these auditions because I have a pretty thick pipeline that I'm working on for the next 5 years. And I want to build a pool of actors to create with. Because to me, actors are my collaborators in as much as my future camera operator or, my AD or whoever else. And so in working with these people, we're going to create, but it's going to be easier for me because I know what strengths and weaknesses people have. So when I'm writing, it's easier for me to pull from, okay, I know what I can do here. And so maybe that's not some people's technique. Maybe that's something some other people like, oh no, you don't do that in the industry. Well, I'm not trying to be in the industry at large. I'm just trying to be a very well-known independent filmmaker. So the industry at large really isn't my concern at this time. What I'm concerned about is creating an ecosystem around my work. And to do that, I feel like it would be best to create a troupe of actors that I can work with. So as many of you know from watching previous vlogs, that I was off social media. I was really just posting and leaving. I wasn't just scrolling. So this past week, I started scrolling again. And in the scrolling, I ran across all this discourse in Dallas actor circles, but it all kind of trickled down from a situation in Detroit about an actor asking for a lot of money and that producer's like, fuck you, fuck that. And I can't lie, I kind of sided with the producer. But the truth of the matter is, it created kind of this discourse that led to it splintering off and throwing strays at these two groups that just recently popped up over the course of this summer, I want to say. And people were just like, why are they this? Why are they that? And this, that, and other thing. And let's go live and talk about it. And it's all of this different shit. But a lot of people, one of the main concerns was that, why wasn't I included? This, that, and the other thing. But you don't have to be. Those gentlemen and those ladies came together as friends because they probably know each other well or whatever the case may be. And they said, hey, we're going to get together and we're going to do this thing. They created their thing. And having worked with a few of the people in these groups, they're in Lover's Revenge and Cruel Ambition, by the way, both on Tubi. They decided we're going to do this thing and we're going to, publicize it to everybody. And so everybody kind of maybe got the wrong idea or maybe got offended by the fact that it feels kind of exclusionary. That's fine. But here's why I say this is a food for thought or honest talk. It's a situation where I'm inspired by that. Because I've always wanted to create a troupe of actors that I work with. I don't necessarily love doing auditions. Like I said before, I'm a bleeding heart. So I kind of want to cast everybody, especially if you do a good job. Maybe you don't fit a role, but I think I like your energy and I kind of want you on set. But I'm also not one of them writers that has 46 characters in my movie. I literally try to keep it to maybe 7 to 10. And that's all the way to that's like everybody. That's not just like, oh, okay, that's just your mains. No. I have about 3 mains and everybody else is supporting. So that's how I roll. And I really want to work with, not necessarily the same group of people because as you can see in Lover's Revenge and Cruel Ambition, they're basically the same cast with a few outliers. And so with those things, it comes down to me that building a troupe isn't such a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad thought process. As a producer, it allows me to have a better working relationship with those that come on my set. And so while I appreciate what they're doing and I support them and I'm rooting for them from afar, some of them, like I said, have been in my own films. I'm going to do my own version of that. Not because I want to copycat or because I want to be like, oh yeah, I appreciate them doing it because it gave me the impetus to say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and build that troupe I've been thinking about for years. And so now that time is coming very soon. And so I don't know how this is going to end up looking, but that's part of the filmmaking stuff I said I was going to split her off and talk about. But I also feel like it's easier for me as a creative because I don't have to spend the resources to go and rent a space to do auditions. And I have to take a day and find enough people and it's a lot of work. And so for me, and then it's like, oh, well, you do a casting director. I got to pay that person. Dude, come on. And so it all kind of comes down to this troupe is what's going to help me create faster. And so that's the reason that I want to create this troupe and also have a good working relationship because I love good energy on set more than anything else. And I don't necessarily want to bring someone on because I've had those situations where I tried somebody new and they tried their best to be professional, but they were overbooking themselves and they came to my set not knowing my lines. They had learned somebody else's lines and I was not happy. And so I don't necessarily want to deal with that again. And so this is going to help me avoid that. So yeah, they don't include me, but I'm not an actor, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I'm deciding I was inspired by what they're doing to create my own thing. So if you felt some type of way about that, get you some friends. Do your own thing. It's okay. What I love about people who say, oh, well, this is all cliquish, it's all cliquish. Those are people that can't find a clique to get into. Well, if you are an actor that likes to act, loves to act, holla at me when I drop this general submission thing, because that's what I'm going to be looking for. People that love to act, people that want to act and do it fairly regularly with someone that loves to create. So that's it. That's all I got. I'm going to be dropping the general submission posts very soon. It's going to be on the website, marvindejon.com, as well as my Facebook and Instagram at Marvin Dejon. So be on the watch out for those. I'm going to be coming to you live with just updates on the building of the troupe, on the next processes for No Plus One and the Orion story. So, you know, stay tuned for that. And then on the first Friday of October, I'm going to be doing a new initiative. It's not going to be like the micro project of the top of September, but it's going to be something very interesting, and it's going to help discuss more writing stuff, filmmaking stuff, and life stuff. But until then, make it a great day.